last few homes.
Tree Haven?
Tree Haven homes.
How long have you been doing that?
40 years.
Get some music on
40?
Rick.
Well, I have a license.
I know it.
I've had
Right?
a license for 30 years, but I've kept it after.
That's right. Yeah, so your son's got there.
I was just...
It's only for 2 hours.
What a way to start.
I know, right?
You're gonna get it to go with these to go on your buck. What? Right in front. Better be. Okay. Self-confidence formula. Fully held. First, I know that ability to jog my next purpose in life. Therefore, I demand myself consistent action towards attainment, and I hereby promise to render such action. Second, I realize the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reach the master of action and gradually transform this house into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily on acts, thinking for the person I intend to become, thereby creating my mind a clear mental picture of that person. Third, I know through the principle of law of expansion, any fact consistent hold of my mind will eventually seek to direct its actions to action. Therefore, I will put the benefits to demand myself self-confidence. Fourth, I have clearly written down scripts my deputy she made alive, and I will never stop trying. Fifth, I fully realize no public position law of the Lord unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction with conduct of all effect. I will seek by attracting myself towards service to use and the cooperation of other people. I will do something to serve me because of my willingness to serve others. I will only engage in envy, self-decision. I will be love for all humanity because I know the negative attitude towards others can never be sad. I will probably believe in me because I believe in them and in myself. I will sign my name to this formula, commit it to memory, and repeat out loud once a day with full faith to try to influence my thoughts and actions. Self-reliant steps first. Hurrah! Okay, 12 steps to success. This is a 12-step formula minimum standard which, in the following drag and positive environment, guarantees 24 blood transactions annually, and I'm present in personal growth and achievement. 1. I dedicate 1 hour a day towards doing myself confidence. 2. I practice internalizing myself skills for 1 hour each day. 3. I contact my sphere of influence by mail, by phone, and in person, and by email quarterly. 4. I make 150 plus contacts per week, 30 plus per day, by phone or in person. 5. I follow all my qualified leads daily. 6. I set 5 plus new points a week for buyers and sellers. 7. Good morning.
Morning.
How's everybody doing?
Good.
Having a good day so far?
Sure.
Good. Any wins? Victories? Successes? Sure.
I may have 4 more new lots. But
Four
I'm
more?
listing with a very, very good agent.
Nice. I love to hear that.
You will.
Awesome. Yeah.
Talk her into it.
Good deal. It's exciting. 4 new. So you guys building, speccing them on, or?
Well, we're gonna do a model on a corner.
Love it. Nice. Exciting. Good stuff. Who else? Yeah.
We officially got ground broke on the bills that we've got going up in Far West.
Nice. How many?
180, I believe.
Nice project. Wow. Nice. So like business is happening.
It's really cool because this builder, he uses the zip system on all his builds, which makes your house about 30% more efficient.
Wow. Zip system.
And then where buyer agents are concerned, they pay 3% up front, and it's on all the upgrades as well.
Wow.
And then buyer agents have the option of getting paid at dig or at the closing.
Who's the builder?
Lifestyle.
Who?
Lifestyle. They're up in Logan.
That's exciting.
Less if you get it at the dig and more if you wait.
So if you wait,
Because I would rather just have it
well,
now.
after the dig, any upgrades they do, you don't get paid on.
Oh,
At dig. Huh.
Yeah, so you can get paid at dig,
Okay.
and you get paid on all the upgrades up to the dig point.
Wow.
Or after dig, you don't.
That's pretty attractive.
And then another thing he does with the buyer agents is all referrals from that client actually go through that agent.
Wow.
So they don't take the referrals.
Nice. Wow.
It's really nice.
Nice score.
I really like this builder.
Nice. I love it. Business is good.
Yeah.
Who else? Victories,
Build
wins.
times are 120 days.
Build times are 120 days. That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
That's good. Nice.
I'm excited.
You should be. Jane, right? Who else? Wins, success, victories.
Taylor's here.
Taylor,
He's here.
he's here. He's here in role play. He's been coming to role play and doing a bunch of cool stuff, and he does really well.
learn from the best, man.
He's doing well. I mean, I was
Jason, Rick,
pleasantly surprised this morning how well he did.
I took George home from the office at
Yeah?
the airport last night.
Yeah?
Heard from him, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, you're diving in, right?
Well, I got
Feeling it.
I got voluntold too, so.
Voluntold? I like that. Voluntold. Awesome. Great. Well, look, today, because of Jason's presentation in base camp, I thought it really important. So what I'd really like everybody to do is move up. So everybody move up, please. Join us up at the front. I know it's a little uncomfortable. Lila, come on.
Make it any more uncomfortable.
Because look, Jason.
Be an example, Jason.
Jason is going to walk us through this listing presentation. He's going to do the presentation. And this isn't stump the chump. This isn't those kind of things. This is a real presentation.
I'll tell you if it's stump the chump after
Right,
we're done.
right. I know he's a little worried that I'm that person, and I'm really not. I mean, could we, of course, anybody can get up here and make it ridiculously hard. I think once you get to this point, people are open and ready. And that's the beauty. So, look, the outline that he did yesterday, I love this process. I think it's so simple. It really gets down to where we need to be. And to have it demonstrated, I was really hoping, we were in such a great discussion yesterday that we weren't able to really get into the presentation itself. And the way he laid it out and the relevant questions that were asked, I wanted everybody to experience him walking through what he taught. Fair enough? Okay, so do you want to outline anything before you get started? Okay.
So, what are you? Because this is going to be the prior.
Oh, okay. Yeah, great question.
So you expired for sale?
I'm a for sale by owner.
Okay, for sale by owner.
Okay, I 350 in Sandy. Look, I'm priced probably okay.
But I still am in the opinion that I could probably do it on my own. But I'm open to information. Yeah, I'm open to information. I'm really I'm a business guy. I understand. We need to look at the options. So I'm open. He's here. He's invited. I've invited
And
you.
you have to sell your home.
I have to sell my house. I've got
I
to.
hate the non-motivated ones.
No, I've got to. He's here.
Well, I might sell it.
No, he's here because I have to sell my home. I'm a corporate head and I'm moving to Florida, okay? And I really need to get as much out of this because the houses in Florida that I'm looking at are like double. So it's real, I'm really motivated, but I need the money. Money is my hot spot. So I need to feel like, this is where we're going. So does that sound okay?
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay, perfect.
Just real quick, if you weren't here yesterday, this is the listing presentation that's on 74 in your book. It's the Century 21 listing presentation. So what I've done for me, you'll kind of hear just my own version of it. I've taken the Mike Ferry one on page 60 and then the one on 74, and I've kind of mixed them. So either one of those works just fine. You don't have to use mine. You don't have to use either of them. You just figure out what works for you. So for me, some of Mike Ferry's stuff I like, so I use it. Some of the Century 21 one I like, so I use that. But the format I'm going to follow is the Century 21. And you'll kind of just see I'm going to go through this process. I'm going to end right here today on that, unless he's just a layover, and then we'll just go right straight over there.
And it probably won't be just a layover. I don't want to make this just like it's done. Anybody can do that. I want it to be about as real as it's been for me in the marketplace, I guess. But again, I want to emphasize this isn't Stump the Chump, because I don't think most of your presentations are going to be like that. Most of your presentations are going to be very friendly. They're looking for information. They're not going to be sitting back and saying, "Oh, you're charging a commission."
Okay, so where we're at in this process, so what I do is I'll greet them at the door. I'll thank them for having me over. I like to go look at the house right away. They want to show you the house. Sometimes they feel like if you don't see the house, you can't talk about the house. So I just like to go right in, look at the house. So we've looked at the house. Now we're sitting down at the table. Okay?
Okay, and as we run through this, take notes of where you might have questions or where you need clarification, because if we got time, I want to have a real discussion on what you think, okay, or what you need to understand better. Okay?
Perfect.
Okay, perfect.
Hey, Rick, thanks again for having me over.
Yeah.
I know your time is busy, so thank you again, and I appreciate the chance we have to sit down and talk. And I want to promise you that the time we spend tonight will not be a waste of your time.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'm 100% committed to give you the best information possible.
Cool.
Okay?
Awesome. I'm excited to hear what you got.
Fantastic. So real quick, Rick, I just want to give you an outline of what I'm going to cover tonight so that we're on the same page.
All right.
Okay. First, I'm going to discuss your needs, basically what you're trying to do to accomplish selling this home.
Fantastic.
Okay. Second, we're going to look at your expectations in regard to selling the home, and I'm going to show you my marketing strategy, my plan of action, and we're going to look at ways that we can not only meet your expectations, but hopefully we can exceed them.
That sounds exciting.
Okay. The third thing we're going to talk about is market condition and pricing.
Okay.
That way, we know what your value is in the market,
Okay.
and we can get you the top dollar for your home. That's really what you want, right?
It really is. Thank you.
Fantastic. And then to wrap up, Rick, if everything looks good and it makes sense for you and I'm the right person for the job of selling your home, I'm going to ask you to sign some paperwork so we can get it on the market.
Okay.
Does that sound okay?
Yeah. Possibly.
Fantastic. So real quick, before we get started, do you have any questions you want to make sure that I cover tonight?
Yeah, really, it's really important to me a couple things. A, what do you think my home's worth?
Okay.
And B, what do you charge?
Okay, so value of the home, and the bottom line, you want to know what commission it's going to cost you.
Yeah, and probably the last one, Jason, I've had a number of agents through here. Everybody seems to be bringing the same old thing. I'm the best, I can do this. What makes you different? I really need to know what makes you different, what makes maybe your company different, those kind of things. Does that make sense?
Perfect, yeah. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, because really, I mean, there's really only two kinds of real estate agents out there. There's active agents and passive agents, right?
Okay.
okay? And I'm going to show you exactly why I'm an active agent and
Okay.
how we can get your home sold,
Perfect.
okay? So is there anything else that you want to make sure we cover?
You know, there may be as we go through this, but right now, I don't know, I guess, what I need to ask. So as we go through.
You don't know what you don't know, right?
Right, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's good. And anytime you have questions, let's go through some of those things.
Okay.
So real quick, in regards to selling this home, do you absolutely have to sell this home?
You know, I do. I got to be in Florida. I'm taking on a new position at a big company, and I need to be out there and really get focused on that and really not have to worry about whether this is going to sell.
Perfect. So you're moving to Florida then?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Wow, that's a
Yeah.
long ways.
It's a ways. I'm actually going to be out there in the next couple weeks, and the wife is going to, stay behind and, wrap everything up.
Oh wow, so you're going to be actually in Florida in a couple weeks,
I am.
not here?
Not here.
So you're already moving?
I'm already there. I've taken the position. I'm really, it's the reason you're here.
Yeah.
I mean, we've tried this on our own. We've got mixed results. We've had a few offers that I'm not sure what to do with, but it's not working.
Perfect. So ultimately, you're moving to Florida because of job transfer, but what are you trying to accomplish with this move?
Well, great question. As I've been looking out there, as you can imagine, the pricing has been double for what I have here, what I have to pay out there. I mean, for the same square footage and style and quality, they're double. And I'm wanting to really kind of bump up above what I have. So we're talking triple in pricing. And that's scary to me.
Yeah.
So it's vitally important I get as much as I can out of this property.
Yeah. So you want to make sure we're netting the most amount of money possible?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, at the end of the day, that's what's important to me.
Yeah. So are you going to be purchasing a home in Florida then?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Do you have a place in mind, or are we just selling this one first?
Yeah, well, I've already got my eye on about 3. And
Okay.
that's why I've been really looking at this and going, man, it's crucial that I have all the money I can get out of this one.
So would it be fair to say that we need to get an offer within the next couple of weeks then?
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I could go longer if need be. The kids are out of school, they're having fun, they're freaking out that they have to leave anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, giving them a little more time is not a big deal. But if the right offer comes along, absolutely, that would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Then I could be done, get them settled before school starts up there.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot of things that need to happen before you get your whole family out there. So you mentioned that your kids aren't so super happy about the move. What about your spouse?
Oh, she's excited. She's ready to.
I would ask her if she was here.
Yeah, she's excited to get on the beach. And
Yeah.
so are the kids.
Mhm.
So there's some real good things going on. It's just, man, I'm just really wanting to get settled, get things going, knowing what I'm going to be doing there and how it's looking. But this is an anchor.
Yeah. So, Rick, let me ask you a question. What would you do if you didn't sell the home or you didn't get the right price for this home?
Well, I'd certainly have to either lease it out and lease up there. I mean, that is an option.
It is an option?
It is an option, but it's an option I don't want to take. So again, if I can get the maximum dollar out of this that the market's going to give me, then, I'll do it. But what is that, I guess? It's the reason I asked you, what's the home, what do you think the home's worth?
Yeah, and that's great. That's a great question. We'll definitely go through that because we want to make sure that we're, one, netting you the most amount of money possible,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we also want to get it sold quickly for you too,
Of
right?
course, yes.
Okay. So just so that I'm clear on what we're doing here, so you got a job transfer into Florida. You got to be there in the next couple of weeks, but your
Yeah.
family can stay a little bit longer to just get this wrapped up. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay. So then the most important thing is netting the most amount of money possible so you can buy something
Yes.
for it. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that's important to you about this sell?
Well, what I've discovered over the years is, a few homes that I've sold is the lack of communication has been really kind of a sore spot. So I'm really concerned about communication back and forth, especially with me being in Florida. The showings, the kids being at home, out of school, in bed, and then have somebody walk through the door.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, that's a concern for me and the wife both that we've talked about. One of the reasons we decided to go on it on our own, we just don't want somebody busting through the door at any given time.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that. Nobody likes people walking through the doors with you.
Right.
So let me ask you real quick, in regards to selling this home, what's most important to you regarding the agent and the company that you choose?
Communication.
Okay.
I mean,
Communication.
I want communication. I certainly, obviously, want the best price I can get.
Okay.
So,
what would you expect that agent to do to sell your home?
well, I'm assuming, expose it to the market, to
Okay.
people who are looking at buying, and
Expose it.
negotiate the deal. Give me current, up-to-date information so I can understand what decisions to make with you.
Okay.
So I'm relying on you for information coming in. I want to know what's going on.
Yeah, you're hiring a professional, right?
That's what I'm hoping.
Fantastic. So is there any special marketing strategies or tools that you want to make sure is being used?
Well, I'm assuming you know what you're doing. I mean, you're...
I would hope so, right?
Yeah, you're Century 21.
I guess the real question is, do you think I know what I'm doing?
Well, here's the thing, what makes you different, I guess, is the question I would have that I wasn't quite thinking of. What makes you different than the last 5 people I had in here? Because I'm not really feeling like anybody's bringing anything new or different. And I'm a little frustrated with that, in the fact that I don't see anything great in the marketplace that's changed me from wanting to be a for sale by owner.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't see value in what we
Yeah,
present, then
yeah,
it
thank you.
wouldn't bring any
Thank
value
you.
to you. So,
Yes.
so is there any special things that you've seen in the past that you want to see happening?
I guess I don't know your business, so I can't really
So
say.
don't really have any ideas?
No, I don't know really what it is you guys do. That's the frustration and why I figured I could do it on my own. I really don't see what you guys do.
Right. And you know what? And that's what we're going to talk about right here. But real quick, just one last question before we
Yeah.
get into that. Is there any kind of marketing that you don't want done?
I really don't like open houses,
Okay.
but if you think it's necessary and it's something we need to get done, or if there's a different way of doing it, then maybe I'm open to that. I just figured with the internet and all the photos, there's no need for that, but I can understand if you think we need to bring that and it's a value. I'm curious of your opinion.
Yeah, and we definitely want to look at that. And what we want to make sure that we're doing is we're doing the most effective things to get your home sold for
Yeah.
the time in the market.
Yeah.
So during the year, different things are more effective than others. Obviously your house is in a really nice neighborhood. It's kind of tucked back away. So
Yeah.
doing an open house may or may not be an advantage to you,
Okay.
but somebody who's living on a busier road might be more of an advantage. So we want to make sure that we're tailoring that to your specific house here.
Okay.
So can I share with you a few of the exciting things that we do here at Century 21 to sell almost 10 homes a day in this market?
Please. Yeah, I'd love to hear it.
Okay, so there's a few things that we do, and I'm just going to touch on a few of them, but are you aware of the MLS?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you know about the MLS? Tell me.
Well, I know it's a system in which you guys find your inventory and your different, homes on the market, but I also know that Homey out there also utilizes that, and that was an option we were considering. So, I just know it's a resource. So as far as the intimate pieces of it, I don't know.
Yeah, can I share a little bit more about it with you?
Please do.
Because here's the exciting thing. The MLS is not just a tool for real estate agents and for Homey and for all the people to use out there. If it was the only reason homes get sold, every home that went on the MLS, it would sell.
Ooh.
Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay, so every month we have about 2 homes that come on the market and 1.5 sell.
Wow. Yeah.
About 1,200 homes, okay? So there's a certain amount of homes that don't sell.
Yeah.
And they're on the same MLS, right?
Huh, yeah, okay.
So here's what most agents do. Most agents will go and they'll take a quick photo of the home with their iPhone, because their iPhones are super nice. They'll get it on the MLS. They'll quickly go through the information and then they'll post it, because what are they most concerned with?
Photos on the phone, people seeing it, I'm
They're
assuming.
most concerned with photos and making sure that it gets on the market, right?
Yeah,
Okay?
sure.
So here's the thing. If you don't pay attention to the details, and if you were looking at a property to buy, and you showed up and it was wrong, how would you feel about that property?
Not real comfortable.
So if you went to Florida, you're buying your new home, it said it had 5 bedrooms, and you showed up and it had 3 and a couple dens,
I'd be
how would you feel about
upset
that?
that I'm wasting my time.
Right.
My time is valuable.
Exactly. And the MLS is a way for us to not waste time.
Yeah,
Okay? What most agents do is they just put it on the MLS just so that we say we're utilizing the MLS.
Gotcha.
One of the things that I like to do is I like to make sure that we are looking at every single detail on the MLS.
Okay.
It reminds me of a time where I talked to a for sale by owner once, similar situation as you. They had the home on the market. They put it on the market with an agent for a couple of weeks and never got any showings on it. When I came in there and looked at the MLS, do you know what was wrong with it? One thing. Instead of having 1300 east, it had 1300 west.
Oh, wow.
On the property. Okay?
Wow.
Do you think that some buyers who wanted to live on the east side missed that property?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that would be important to have somebody looking at the MLS, making sure that it's correct for you?
I would think so.
So do you see value in having that system put in place on your home?
Yes.
Is that something you want me to use?
Well, of course. Yeah.
And that's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to use the MLS. Another thing real quick is have you ever heard of virtual agent?
No.
Virtual agent, okay. So are you familiar with how they used to advertise homes with flyers?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're going to do flyers, right?
Okay, so let me ask you about that. So flyers, how do you feel about flyers?
I think they're necessary. I think it's something you need to get the information out to the public.
So the key there is we want to make sure the information gets out to the public, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever driven by a home that has a flyer box, but the flyer box is empty?
All the time.
And how do you feel about that?
Makes me wonder what the agent's doing. That's the reason I'm doing it on my own.
Exactly. And what most agents do is they fill that flyer box up maybe once every couple of weeks, and here's what happens. 10 minutes later, the school kids get out, and out go the flyers. Or, how about this scenario? Who do you think is interested most about your home in your neighborhood?
I imagine family of those who live in the neighborhood.
Yeah, just your neighbors, really.
Yeah.
Your neighbors are most interested in what are you doing, right?
Right.
So, who's taking your flyers?
Neighbors.
So if we could control a system that we can get the information to the buyer without having to have flyers for them, we could also get them the information without the flyers getting wet because of the sprinkler box.
Yeah.
And we don't have to fill them every single day.
Yeah.
Do you think that would be a valuable system?
Sounds like it'd be.
So let me tell you a little bit about what we have here
Okay.
at Century 21. Virtual agent. This is a system that we use for our houses so that we can get the information out to the public. It's a number that we put on our sign.
Okay.
Okay? So here's what we do. We come in, you call the sign, you get the information you want.
Okay.
Okay? But here's the valuable part to it. When somebody takes a flyer, how do I call them?
Well, how do you know they're taking the flyer?
Exactly. And even if they took the flyer and they were interested, could I talk to them?
If they called you.
If they called me,
Yeah.
right? It's a proactive approach from them.
Yeah.
And you didn't want a passive agent, you wanted an active agent, right?
Yeah.
Okay? Here's the thing. When they call that number, I get their phone number.
Okay.
So I can call them back.
Okay.
Sometimes I can call them back right away, right when the number comes in. They still might be sitting in front of your house.
Well,
Okay? Do you think it would be important for them to not only have the information, but also know the background of what's actually happening in your home?
of course.
So having somebody actually sell your home versus just having somebody look at a picture would probably be more valuable.
Good point.
Okay? So that's the thing. That's the type of systems that we use here at Century 21.
Okay.
Systems that not only help them get the information they want, but it allows us to sell your home.
Nice.
Okay?
Okay.
So I personally believe that I can sell your home better than a flyer can.
Oh, that's a good
But
point.
the real question is, do you feel like I could sell your home better than a flyer could?
So far, I feel like you can.
Well, fantastic. So in real estate, one of our biggest complaints that we get is lack of communication. You mentioned that communication is a big issue for you, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to make sure that's never a problem for us.
Okay.
So how often would you like me to communicate with you?
Well, at least once a week, and then I'm fine with just a text.
Okay.
I mean, if I need something really in depth, then I'll probably call you if I'm wondering. But if it's just giving me a market update where we're at, what's going on, I really want to know, what is the feedback? What is the efforts? What are we producing out of it?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and that's great. So you want to make sure that you get text at least once a week, is
Yeah.
what we're saying?
Yeah.
Okay, and just market update, feedback,
yeah.
and things in
Yeah.
that control. Okay. The exciting thing about that, here's what most agents do. See, most agents will just quickly send you a quick text, hey, nothing's happening this week. Is that going to give you a lot of information?
No, I mean, it's kind of a weak approach.
Yeah. And I want to make sure that you and I are communicating. So here's what I like to do. And tell me if this will work for you.
Sure.
I like to call my sellers once a week, usually on Monday, can be Tuesday, but I like to give you a market update of what's going on. There's three things that I want to talk to you about. First, I want to talk to you about what we've been doing to sell your home. Okay. The second thing I wanted to talk about is the feedback that we've received from people walking through the home.
Perfect.
But I want you to understand this though. Sometimes when a buyer comes through your home, they don't give us feedback.
Okay.
Okay? Why do you think they don't give us feedback?
They're not into it. I don't know.
Yeah, they're not interested in the home.
Yeah.
So is that feedback?
Yes.
Exactly. So sometimes I'm going to call them and they're not going to give me the feedback that we want to hear, or they're not going to even respond to it. But one thing we do know, if they don't write an offer, their feedback is they're not interested in the home.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
The third thing I'm going to talk to you about is what we're going to do this next week.
Okay.
So there should be no time in this process that you don't know what I'm doing, what's going on with your property, and what we're going to move forward with.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Would that work for you?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So how do you feel about what I've shared with you so far?
So far, I like. So far, I think it sounds like a great plan.
Do you feel like I could sell your home?
I do.
Awesome. Well, fantastic. Well, let's move forward with this, and let me ask you this. If we can come to an agreement on a price that will work for you, and then we can come to an agreement on a commission that will work for both of us, is there any reason you wouldn't want to work with me through this process?
I don't see any reason, other than I have 4 other agents that want to interview. So, yeah.
Yeah. You know, and I can appreciate that. I mean, obviously, you've got other people that want to look at your home. What is it that I've shared with you that you would like to see more of?
You know, I don't know that there's really anything other that I'm, you know, wondering what separates you as an agent in your company. You covered a number of different things like the virtual agent and things like that. But you as an individual, how many of you sold in the area? How many things like that?
Yeah.
Is a concern.
So track record for you is a concern.
Of course.
Yeah, you know, and I can appreciate that. I mean, obviously, in this market, you want to make sure that the agent that you hire is doing business, right?
Correct.
Yeah. And really, Rick, there's 4 things that I do to bring value to you and help you sell this property, okay? The reason you're going to pay me the commission is because of these 4 things. Can I share those with you?
Please.
Okay, the first thing is I'm going to advise and consult you.
Okay.
Okay? Rick, I've been in the business for 12 years. It's not a part-time job for me, it's a full-time position.
Okay.
You know, this market can be very frustrating, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
Okay? And to make sure that we're up to date with the market and what's going on, it's important to have somebody in your corner that's watching that market, wouldn't you agree?
I agree.
Exactly. So I'm going to watch that market so that we can be ahead of the times so that we can make adjustments before you lose money on the home. You don't want to do that, right?
Nope.
Okay. The second thing I do is a market and exposure property. Okay, I want to make sure that no matter what, your home can be seen by anyone, anywhere, at any time.
Okay.
Okay. The marketing we do here at Century 21 does that. You can get on your computer, you can look at different sites, your home will be available for them.
Okay.
Okay, 24/7 open houses, pictures, everything that's going to be on.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
Okay. Right now there's over 2,400 homes for sale in the market.
Okay.
Okay. Usually about 12 to 1,400 sell every
Okay.
month. That means there's about 1,000 homes that don't sell every month.
Okay.
Rick, my objective is to make sure that you're not part of that 1,000 that sit on the market.
Okay.
Okay? So how would you feel if you were sitting on the market for a long period of time?
Wouldn't like it.
Exactly. And that's why you need somebody who's actually actively marketing your property and exposing it.
Fair enough.
Does that make sense? The third thing that I do is negotiate. See, my role is to protect your equity, Rick.
Okay.
This is where the money's made and lost. Okay? And we don't want to lose money, do we?
Nope.
Exactly. This is where experience comes in. This is where, because of the 12 years in the business that I have, that we can negotiate you the best possible price.
Okay.
And that's what you want, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. And the last thing that I do is oversee the transaction.
Okay.
Do you realize, Rick, that 50% of the deals that go under contract actually fall out before they close?
Wow, I never knew that.
So you want to get this closed, right?
Yes.
We don't want it to just sit on the market and get an offer and then it fall apart, do we?
Nope.
Exactly. Do you realize that once we have it under contract, I'm going to make an average of about 150 phone calls coordinating the process to get this home sold for you?
Wow. Okay.
See, if this isn't done the right way, the right time, deals fall apart.
Yeah.
And we don't want this to fall apart, right?
Right.
So Rick, now there's a lot of marketing tools. You can purchase marketing tools. Any company out there can purchase marketing tools. But what you can't purchase is leadership, salesmanship, and communication.
Okay.
What you're getting when you hire me is someone who's going to lead you through a process to not only protect your equity, but your family during this time. Is that something you would want?
Of course.
Okay. Would you expect anything else from Century 21 to get your home sold?
Just get it sold.
Great. Is there anything else you'd expect from me as your agent to get your home sold?
It sounds like you've pretty much covered it.
Perfect. Rick, is there any reason we can't start this process tonight?
No.
Awesome. So is it safe to assume that if we can come to an agreement on price,
No.
that you and I can work together?
I think so.
Awesome. Well, let's move forward.
Okay, perfect.
And then I'll go into pricing.
So, that was like, I mean, really real.
Ask
That-
for critique, I got some.
Okay. Yes.
No, I watched the bobblehead. Every question that he was asking, the bobblehead was going
Yes.
to town. And I noticed his feet and
Did you
his
notice the
legs.
body language in the
Yes, I
report that
did.
he created? It was interesting for me, and I'm glad you brought that up, because I naturally fell into rapport with him and wasn't even realizing it. I wasn't doing it on purpose.
I didn't think that you did, but I noticed that he was watching
I-
what you're moving back and forth.
Yeah.
You're like, but I don't know for us women if this is the greatest.
No, it
you
can
know,
be
but
this. I
For
mean,
you guys, that's
yeah,
fine.
I mean, it's fascinating you brought that up, because I didn't really, for me, I wasn't cognizant about that. At one point I become, because I seen him do it, and I don't know if it's just because maybe I was looking for it at that point, but in the beginning, I was not. And it was fascinating to me how I fell into rapport with him very quickly. And now part of that is because maybe I know him, and I'm comfortable with Jason, very comfortable with Jason, but it's still fascinating how we fall into rapport with people, so.
Yeah, but it's great when two professionals are doing this and the rest of us are watching. Okay,
That's
the
why we wanted
movement,
to do this.
he's mirroring everything that you're saying, he's agreeing with you with the head.
This was brilliant. This was
Yeah,
an
it was
incredible
good.
role play.
I also loved how as soon as you got into the nuts and bolts and you were going to have to start writing things down, you leaned in
Yes.
and leaned closer. It shows you were engaged, and I felt that. You were engaged and concerned about what his questions were and what your answers were going to be.
It made me feel good.
Well, and when you watch that, so if I would have leaned in and he would have backed up, I would have known he wasn't in rapport with me, which would have meant I need to come back and
Right.
ask some more questions.
It's a good point.
So yesterday I was talking about the time period that you're in here. This first section of needs and wants and expectations is like 80% of your presentation. 80% of your time should be spent in that area. Once you get that confirmation, so we have this confirmation, it took us 20 minutes to get to there. Now we're going to really go through this quickly. It's not going to be a big deal because he's already chosen me, and now we're just going to choose a price. So if I would have stopped back and I would have come in and asked him, started writing things down, and he would have just kind of backed up, which would have told me he's not
There's
comfortable with
something
me,
different, yeah.
I would have had to ask more questions. So it's just a way of gauging that.
And I didn't want to be a rollover towards the end, and that's the reason I did what I did, to see where he was going. I love how he looped back around into, and drove a little bit deeper on the pieces that needed to be answered. That was really what I was looking for. I'm glad you did it brilliantly. The way
Well,
you
and
did.
for me, so when I did that trial close, if he would have said he was good to go, that whole section that I did where I do my 4 things: advise and consult, market and expose, negotiate, and oversee the transaction, I'll skip that. The only reason I go into that is because I got to my line here,
Yeah.
and I said, I don't have a connection to move forward. So I need to go back and reestablish that connection. Because he still wanted to interview 4 other agents. If he says I'm interviewing 4 other agents, there's something that he's feel like he's missing
doubting?
something.
Yeah, I missed something. I mean, and that's kind of where I wanted him to go with it, and the purpose for the question is, you'll often get to this point to where they feel obligated to somebody else, as good as the presentation was, but he pushed through the no, he answered the questions and it made it come together.
If you would have gone through those 4 things and you still were getting some hesitation or no, or, well,
Where
I've
do
still
you
got,
go?
where do you go?
Yeah, so if I got to that point and I had the hesitation, then I would need to start isolating what his concerns are. So I need to start asking him specific things. So if it wasn't for those 4 other agents, would we look at working together? Yes, it's just those 4 other agents. Okay, so is it the fact that you just want to interview other agents, or is there something more you would like to see done in your home? So I want to just probe those questions, because he might not give me his real reason at first, but I'm going to keep pushing for it. I'm going to keep pushing for it. I'm going to keep pushing for it. Eventually, one of the 2 things is going to crack, either me or him.
That's it.
And what I want to see is, I want to see when he starts to crack and why he's cracking. If he's starting to get frustrated with it, I want to see why he's getting frustrated. Because if I'm making him frustrated, that means my questions are being interrogated.
There you go.
I'm asking him too many questions right away, which means I'm talking. He's not. But if he's explaining himself, a lot of times you're going to see, especially if you have 2 people, like a husband and a wife, or some that are together, one of them's going to get it, and the other one's going to be resistant. When you start getting them to talk, then it's just a matter of sitting back and letting them argue it out.
Yep.
Because you got one that's going to say, well, I don't want to interview 4 more agents, and the other one's saying, well, we need to interview 4 agents. Especially if you have like an expired who their first time around interviewed 1 agent, and they said, we're not doing that again, we're going to interview 4 agents this time, 4 sure. If they do that, we've got to figure out why they're doing that. Because if they're doing that,
So where do you go? Because I do have a client that's like that. Where do you go when they're saying, I've got somebody from Exit Realty and we just think that Exit is excellent.
Yeah.
And they go on and on about all the positive things. You know all the negative things, but you're not going to tell the client the negative things about the companies. So how do you move around that?
I never want to tell them negative about
Right.
anybody, but I want them to discover the negative of the person. So I'm going to ask questions that help them discover that there's a problem there. So like, let's say that they wanted to work with a discounted brokerage. Okay, so you want to work with a discounted brokerage. You know, I can appreciate that. I mean, everybody wants to save money on that. So let me ask you this: if an agent's willing to discount their commission on their side, how willing are they to discount your price? Are they going to discount your price, or are they going to fight for your price? So I'm not saying that a discounted brokerage is bad, but I want you to discover that, okay, they're not going to have my best interest in mind moving forward. So
Let's wrap it up and do closing affirmations. Thanks, Jason. That was awesome. Loved it.
3 minutes.
You need to do more of those.
Yes, no, I thought this to be extremely important today, and I appreciate Jason really coming in and doing it, so thank you, Jason.
yeah.
Closing affirmations. Jason, you want a list? My voice is gone.
All right. I succeed because I act my goals. I am an optimist. I like talking to new people. I know it is important to me. I remember people's names. I have a daily plan and I follow it. I am passionate about real estate. I know this is my greatest tool. I like asking questions and listening. I enjoy reading and improving my sales skills. My thoughts lead my emotions, actions, goals. I focus on my dreams daily. My presentation is powerful persuasion. I improve my skills daily. I am happy. I love the prospect of the speed of my business. I see my future is awesome. I love my life. I am grateful and thankful. I control my feet. I believe in me. I feel outstanding.
want somebody to help you